I have almost got evicted twice. I have ran up 2 credit cards to the point where now I have like an extra $20,000 in debt, y'all. Like there's literally nothing else that I can do because I still want to be a doctor. Hey my loves, I am back. I actually debated whether or not I wanted to post and upload today because it is Mother's Day and I was like, who the heck wants to hear about my woes and struggles on a day like this? But then I had to acknowledge and recognize that today is not actually a happy day for everybody. There are people who are not in contact or communication with their mothers, and they're in a boat like me where I'm not in contact with my mother. I shared that on my channel before and it's rough and it just isn't fair. So along those lines of unfairness, I thought that my current status as a med student could be shared because this also isn't fair. The title is not clickbait. I have no clue when I am graduating. I don't even know when I'm going to be enrolled, okay? I have been told that that is potentially not until 2027. Yeah, there's been a lot of policy changes at my school that have been very hard for me to keep up with, and that's really the baseline of the unfairness that I'm talking about here. And I'm not going to throw my institution under the bus. I think that this is just an issue in big medicine, period, where there is poor communication and support for students who fall outside of the norm, and the norm itself is unfair. So let me just tie this all together. The reality is that a lot of people in this world are just not well supported the way that they should be from people that should be providing unconditional support, like their loved ones, their family members. We grow up thinking and learning that we have to solve everything on our own. We grow up realizing that the world is not fair and that we just have to get it out the mud and that we gotta just like shut up, elbow grease, and get things done. It unfortunately works in our favor a little bit too well, to the point where everybody around you starts to believe that no matter what you go through, you got it, and that they don't need to reflect. They don't need to come and help. They don't really need to do anything because no matter the circumstance, even if it's not fair, even if it's not okay, even if it's not just, you'll figure it out. And it's like, I am so tired of that. I'm so tired of having to be my own warrior, of having to be my own advocate, of having to do all this effort and elbow grease all on my own and to genuinely not feel supported. It is tiresome. I have a great friendship base, and I did at one point have a very happy and loving relationship with different parties in my family, and even had like mentorship or whatever, friendship here now that I'm in the professional space of medicine. But all of that, I have realized, has been contingent upon my ability to keep things afloat, other than my lifelong friendships. Like, those people have proven to me time and time again that they are here for me no matter what, and that it's not unilateral. But I think to get this slap in the face that a majority of the relationships that I had in my life were contingent upon my ability to keep it together, to communicate effectively, to just do all of the heavy lifting, bruh. And to have that experience in a professional setting too. Bruh, like, what do you mean I would not have known that I qualified for 50% extra time and breaks for academic accommodations? I didn't even know that I should be applying to them in the first place. Bro, I didn't even know I had ADHD. To have to go and discover all of these things for myself and to recognize, oh my God, I have literally been getting by the skin of my teeth. I have been getting by on grit, determination, and resilience alone. And this is why I'm so burnt out. This is why I'm so tired. Just recognizing how gatekeepy everything can be in medicine as well, because these people are so privileged. They're so privileged. They have grown up in this privilege. They've grown up with all of these resources that to them, it is the norm, right? The norm is a student who has 2 rich, well, affluent parents. That's what the standard of medicine is, okay? And that's why it burns me up when people are like, oh, well, most people can pass step 1 the first time and most people this and that. Most people in medicine are not average people. Okay, it has always been about the rich, powerful, and affluent, and it ticks me off because it's these people who get into these positions of power, who get into these positions to dictate the fate of others, and it's like you're doing so with a lack of empathy. You're doing so with a lack of understanding. You're literally sitting there in your lifeboat asking why other people are drowning, while they're out there being weighed down by situations that you have never had to experience. And good for you. Nobody's necessarily blaming you for being privileged, right? It is a blessing. But what pisses me off is, don't then take your blessings and try to attribute them to your own efforts and merit. That would be like me getting on here and telling people, I mean, just work out. It's not that hard. It's whatever. You're just lazy. Whole time, I've been an athlete for 14 years of my life. I have no room to talk. And it's like, since when do we normalize cutting out the people who are in the middle who can then work their way up? I thought that we liked merit and effort. It's not giving that though, because again, we are mistaking things that are gifts and blessings for merit and effort. And it's not the same thing at all. I have shared this before where I realized and ran into the culture shock early on in my preclinicals when I would talk to my cohort and they would casually mention getting tutored by their doctor parents who own private practices. I mentioned how I would talk to my cohort and they would be traveling out of the country. Oh, they don't got time to come to lecture because they gotta go home across Eastern Europe. What the f? And it's like, bruh, my biggest concern is figuring out what I'm gonna like eat tomorrow, right? Ever since I've been in this LOA, I have been in such a significant degree of stress. I have hit one of the lowest lows of my life to where sometimes I don't even know if I'm going to be able to stay afloat to the next day. I have almost got evicted twice. I have ran up 2 credit cards to the point where now I have like an extra $20,000 in debt, y'all. And I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still laughing. I'm still smiling. I'm still trying to get through it, despite the fact that all of this is just not fair. Like, do you think that I didn't want to pass? Step 1. Do you think that had I known to take a personal leave, I wouldn't have taken one, knowing that I was literally losing people in my life, passing away. People are no longer here on this earth with me now, around the time of one of the biggest exams of my life. Do you think that I want to be here and going through a DV situation? Huh? And it's like, it's just so unfair sometimes. Like, I'm not trying to get on here and complain and lament and victimize myself, but it pisses me off when I'm actually a victim of circumstances. You know, I'm not trying to victimize anything. I actually experience a lot of this crappy stuff, and to then come and try to explain this and to just feel like nobody cares, it doesn't matter, and that the only thing that I continue to hear is, well, if it's too much, quit. It's a slap in the face. And that's why I've been away for so long, because I don't really know how to describe what I'm going through without it coming across as like sucks to suck. Like, there's literally nothing else that I can do, because I still want to be a doctor. I still want to be physician Z. I still really very much want to do this. Is the only thing that I want to do. So I have no choice but to just go through the I have no choice but to be in this low, to be in this valley, and accept that nobody is going to help me. That maybe there will be, and I just can't see it right now. But so far, the attitudes that I have gotten have literally just been, well, maybe you're just not cut out for this. And it's just like dealing with those attitudes, you know, of, hey, there's something we can do to help you. It is what it is. You just don't have enough money. You just don't have enough this. You just don't have it. You just can't cut it. And it's like, y'all invited me here. I don't know. It just baffles me how big medicine can drop the ball to this extent. You want these people with these rich backgrounds and experiences to contribute to the space and advance and like, but do you really, if you're not actually prepared to support us? Do you really, if you're not actually prepared to change the way that you're thinking? Because again, you have to understand that we aren't the norm, that we are anomalies, that we are not the average. So you're gonna have to start thinking outside the box if you want to keep us, okay? It's like you can't cherish and value the uniqueness and then in that same breath crush it. In that same breath, demonize it. I am so sorry that I don't have the privilege to have parents to support me through things. My dad didn't even go to college, bro. I don't have it. And that should be okay. Like, if I am still trying and fighting, if I am still making a way when there, or not even just me, if there are ways being made for me and I am doing my part and keep going, keep running, I'm trying to figure out why you have given up on me as a system. Why give up on people who are displaying the grit and the resilience and the determination? It's just such a slap in the face. I don't have anything positive to say, and I think that that's why I've been away. I've been away because what else can I say right now? I hate coming on here and having to admit that things are not shaping up the way that I thought. I hate having to come on here and just complain and be angry all the time, because at this point there's no point. There is no point in me being angry. There's no point in me crying. There's no point in me being sad, because I understand that these are the cards that I've always been dealt. I have always had a bad deck, a bad hand, and I have somehow made magic out of it anyway, and this will be no different. And as much as I want to come on here motivational with that, I think I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. I'm tired of trying to spin a narrative to this bright, happy ending when it's like, no, bro, y'all are gonna instead see what it really takes. Y'all are really gonna see me cut up knees, bloody hands, battered, tired, exhausted, heavy breathing. Y'all are gonna see the ugly bits. So that way, when it is time to celebrate that I've made it out, that people like me who are in similar situations or tangential situations have made it out, that y'all celebrate accordingly. Because I think that there is nothing worse than having people clap for you once you get the accolade, and it's like, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym. I know I put this in another video somewhere, but I relate to that so hard. Like, nah, don't clap for me now after you watched me drown. Don't clap for me now that you watched me struggle. You watched me going through barbed wire on my knees and elbows. No. And that's why my platform means so much. I love my YouTube family. I love that from day one, my stance has not changed. I have continued to tell y'all that I'm going to show up as me, unapologetically, authentically, transparently, and I am going to move mountains with that. I may not have everything that everybody else has. I may not have, you know, all of the luck in the world. I may have some very bad hands and some crappy circumstances, and we're going to make it do what it do regardless. Like, I am not about to let anybody else try to sit here and tell me that I am not going to get what belongs to me. I know that this is my pathway. I know that in my heart of hearts, I have prayed over it, and I'm just not going to give up, but I'm also not going to try to smile about it anymore. Like, right now, you're getting gritted teeth, Z. You're getting gritted teeth, like I said, elbow grease, elbow dirt, Z, and I hope that that's okay, because that's all I got. I can't come up here and fake the funk. I will never be one of those influencers. I don't even consider myself to be an influencer, but I'm just never going to be that type of person that is going to try to act like everything is cool when it ain't cool. Ain't cool right now, but it will be. With that said, I'm not really sure what my next couple of uploads are going to look like since I'm in this weird purgatory state. I do plan on making a video about accommodations since I said I qualified for them, and that was just a whole process. And we just got to talk about that, y'all. There's a lot of stigma around accommodations, and I hate that. I hate that so much. So we're going to talk about that. But otherwise, y'all might get me on like DoorDash or something. You know what I'm saying? You might see me door dashing. I'm trying to work at a country club. I applied to a bunch of different jobs. I don't know. You're going to get working Z. You're going to get grinded out Z. You're just going to get a different experience of me, because right now I don't have anything academically beautiful to show. I mean, there are a lot of things that are happening well behind the scenes. I have a lot of positions that I've earned, that have been granted to me, that I've been recognized for, and I am excited to share that with you, but I just feel like not right now. Not right now. We'll get to that. We'll get to the celebrations, but this is just not the celebration era, and you're gonna have to be okay with that if you're a part of this journey that I'm on, because I don't ever want to be afraid of showing y'all the lows, of showing y'all the trenches, of just showing y'all the unfairness, because this is also a real part of medicine. I would hate to encourage somebody to come into this space naive, because that's really what it is. I came into this space not realizing that it is the same crap that I've dealt with all my life. I came into this space not realizing that I would continue to, you know, have to be an advocate for myself. I didn't come into this space recognizing and acknowledging that there would be, in my opinion, some common sense stuff that ain't so dang common. I didn't know that, but now I do. I know it all too well because I've been going through it for an entire year now, and honestly, these next couple of months, it's not going to be no different. I am claiming over myself that I will be able to rotate come July. I'm claiming over myself that you will only have to see working Z for the rest of May and June, and then we'll get back into the normal flow of things. But I wanted to come on here and admit to y'all that that's just not where we're at right now. So thank you so much for allowing me that month. Was that about a month off of uploading? Because I needed it, because even now this upload is a bit rambly. It's a bit rambly. I'm ranting, I'm stuttering a lot. I feel like my train of thought is all over the place, and I'm sorry for that. I hope you guys have been able to keep up with what I'm trying to say here and connect the dots and look at the fine print that I didn't necessarily say out loud, some of the unspoken things. I'm hoping that that's all there, because had I come back sooner, it would be even worse. I've been up here ranting, raving, crying, bawling my eyes out, punching the camera. I've been doing all type of stuff because my mental state was just that off. I was so angry. And I am just happy that I'm not angry anymore. I am just indifferent. I'm neutral. It's like, all right, well, whatever. We've made it before. We survived before. I didn't think that I would have to do this again, but whatever. Thank you, God, that I have the skills that I've developed through worse trials, through worse tribulations. No, granted, no, let me back that up. I actually have never almost been evicted twice. So I'm actually at one of the lowest points ever in my life. But to even have some type of survival mechanisms, because I've had no choice. I can't imagine somebody else being in this position and just not having the same experiences to be able to survive this. I see exactly how people depart from this earth, because it does get to a point. I have even made a post about my ADHD and not realizing how much it would impact me, and having people comment on it and tell me that they've quit medicine, tell me that they gave up, tell me that it was too much for them. It's just crazy to see how it really can get there. And I am blessed and grateful that I'm not at that point. I'm not that low, that I'm not, that down and out, that I have been able to rise back up to a spirit of neutrality. It may not be happy and exuberant. It may not be hee hee ha ha like I usually am, but it's better than where I was and where I never hoped to go. Amen. So yeah, sorry if this was a little dark. Sorry again if you kind of had trouble keeping up with my line of thought, my train of thought. I just was trying to get it all out there as a real and authentic, raw update of what Z is going through right now. And I am also sorry if you can relate too strongly to this. And I just hope that we're all gonna make it out. We're all gonna be okay out of this trial of our individual lives. That's all I got. Okay, bye.